So, MCM Scotland, one of my favourite conventions of the year. Yeah, well, not this year. Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about MCM Scotland 2019. Now, the con, don't get me wrong, was amazing this year, but just everything kind of leading up to the con wasn't. For example, we were at college all day because we left on the Friday. We're 2.5 hours away from the convention, so instead of getting up really early, like 5 in the morning to get there, we decided we would get a hostel the night before and just make our way there. Our original plan was to stay Friday, Saturday to Sunday. That didn't happen because the hostel wouldn't let us stay because we didn't have a passport. Now, I've never really booked a hostel before. I don't know if you always need a passport, but we needed a passport, they wouldn't let us stay, so last minute we had to find a hotel, which is not fun when you've been at college all day, sat on a 2-hour bus ride, and you kind of just want to sleep. You just want to sleep. We had to last minute try and find one. We phoned other hostels, but they said they needed ID too, so eventually we found a Premier Inn that we just ended up staying at. We didn't have enough money to stay Friday night and Saturday night, so we just ended up staying Friday and went home on the Saturday, which, my Jesus. The con was great. There's a video, I don't know if it'll ever come out because the quality is really bad because it was all on my phone because I didn't bring my camera with me, but we just kind of tried like a bunch of snacks and stuff and made a video of it as Eddie and Richie. It was great. But yeah, the con day was great. Tons of Pennywises, got chased by one of them. I saw an older Eddie, we kind of had a moment. It was great. So the con day was great, it was wonderful, met so many great people, met all my friends again, it was amazing. But the problem rolls in at the end of the convention day. There was a football game on that day. I think there was a show going on at the SEC Hydro, and obviously everyone from the convention, so there must have been a few thousand people, or at least 100 people, that were trying to get taxis and Ubers. We ordered an Uber, but he went around the back and we couldn't make it around the back in time, so he left and charged us, although come to the front, that's where everybody usually gets picked up. There was also no taxis because there was people trying to go to the Hydro to watch the show that was coming, and there was people from the con, and then obviously there was a football game on, so there was people everywhere trying to get taxis, and plus we're in Glasgow, so it's hard to get taxis. After about an hour of standing outside the convention, and my feet are killing me because my feet and my legs just, I don't know, they just can't handle much. So I was pretty much dying at the end of the convention. We're standing there for an hour. We finally decide just to get a bus. So we get a bus, and the first 3 buses that come across us are all out of service. They're just not working. So eventually, after another half an hour, we get a bus. I realised there's also a bus in 20 minutes to get home. So I'm like, okay, we got this. But if you know Glasgow, it's kind of like a hill. We had to walk up that hill in 20 minutes. And we missed the bus by about 3 or 4 minutes just because there's so many slow people, there's so many traffic lights. It's a nightmare to get anywhere quickly. So we missed the bus. A Kirkcaldy bus did come in, but that bus takes about 3 hours to get home, and it was packed with people from football and everybody was shouting at each other. So we got off that bus because it was a bit overwhelming for me, so we got off. And then we got on another bus, which obviously after the Kirkcaldy bus I kind of had like a slight mental breakdown just because I was so tired. Everything had gone wrong already. I was just done. I was tired, I was sleepy, I was stressed. I broke down. Then eventually we got the bus we were supposed to get, and there was 4 drunk people, 2 kids, and obviously their parents. They all got on the bus. The parents and the 4 drunk people must have known each other because they were sitting talking to each other, well, shouting at each other the whole bus ride. I would not say that's talking. The 4 other people were completely drunk out of their minds. The parents got drunk, and I think the 2 kids were just trying to sleep, thankfully, because I could not have handled kids as well. They were just pretty much shouting at each other back and forth. I have really, really bad luck with buses. Like on the way to Glasgow, there was a child on there and she wouldn't sit down. She was running up and down the bus, and there was a moment I glanced at her and her feet were in the air. don't know, she was singing the whole bus ride and just shouting, and it was I like quiet bus rides, I do, but I never get them. So but yeah, that bus ride home was complete and utter tragedy. The loudest bus I have ever been on in my entire life. There was also one of the guys peed all over the wall in the toilet that was in the bus, which was fun. I really needed to pee. After that, I didn't want to go in, so I just kind of held it in for 2 hours. Now, they're drunks, they're chatting, they're having a good time. I get it. But when it's a 2-hour bus ride and it's like 8 o'clock at night, I still feel like there should be like a rule against like drunk people in a noise volume, because that must be distracting on the bus driver unless he's used to it. It was distracting on me and I had headphones in, so like the bus driver must have been like, I still feel like there should be like some sort of like volume thing on buses. I don't know, it's just my opinion, but I don't like loud. I think that's really all that happened. I might try and fit that other video in. I don't know, I might make this a separate video just because both of them combined would be too long, and then the quality would be really good and then it would be really bad, so I don't know. If you're also wondering why I'm kind of wearing the same thing in 2 videos, it's because I'm shooting these 2 videos back to back. So if you see me with the same outfit on twice, that's why. But yeah, that's really all for the MCM story. Another thing I want to mention is I have nightmares before Comic-Cons all the time. Every single Comic-Con I go to, I have nightmares. I think that's just me being really anxious. Like, it's never horrible nightmares, it's just me being late, never being able to make it. Like, if someone's coming to pick me up, I miss them and I can't go to the con, you know, like stuff like that. It's never anything like drastic, but every time I go to cons I always have nightmares, and I think this is the first time a nightmare's kind of came true. Not really, but I've had like a bad feeling about MCM for like a week or 2 before the con, so we were this close to, I think, cancelling the tickets and just not going, which I kind of wish we did because it was a lot of hassle and a lot of stress, and the con was great, but I don't think it was worth all of that. Also, we kind of want to go to London MCM, that is happening soon, but that's the main reason we were going to cancel, is to go to London. But after that whole stress about like the Scotland MCM, I don't think I want to go to London MCM because it's a lot bigger. I'd have to get a plane, just too much for my wee soul to handle. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. Like, subscribe, dislike the video, let me know what you thought about it down below, let me know what you think of the new background. I kind of love it, low-key. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Two videos in a row with low battery.